All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to flag off 8 trains connecting different regions of the country to Statue of Unity in Cambodia at 11 a.m. today. World largest COVID-19 vaccination drive kicks off in the country. Over 1.91 lakh people inoculated on day 1. Prime Minister says startups are playing a crucial role in making India self-reliant. Veteran actor and director Chatterjee chosen for Indian Personality of the Year award at EFI Goa. And in cricket, India were 171 for 5 against Australia in the first innings of the fourth and final test at Brisbane a short while ago. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will flag off 8 trains connecting different regions of the country to Cambodia today through video conferencing. These trains will facilitate seamless connectivity to the Statue of Unity. The Prime Minister will also inaugurate several other projects related to the railway sector in Gujarat during the event. Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani and Railways Minister Piyush Goyal will be present on the occasion. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the newly built railway stations of Cambodia, Dubois and Chandoth in Gujarat through video conferencing. He will also inaugurate the Dubois-Chandoth gauge converted broad gauge railway line, Chandoth-Cambodia new broad gauge railway line and newly electrified Pratapnagar-Cambodia section. According to official sources, the new buildings of Cambodia, Dubois and Chandoth railway stations have been designed aesthetically, incorporating local features and modern passenger amenities. Cambodia station is India's first railway station with a green building certification with solar energy and water conservation technology. All these projects will boost the development activities in the nearby tribal regions. Apart from socio-economic development of the region, these projects will also help to generate new employment and business opportunities. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Chennai to Cambodia new broad gauge rail line through video conference today. Chennai will stay connected to the monumental statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India, through the introduction of the superfast weekly trains. According to the Divisional Railway Manager of the Southern Railway P. Mahesh, this project is a historic venture.
The tallest statue of the world, the Statue of Unity of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, is located at Kevadia in Gujarat. 7 new trains are flagged off on 17 January 2021 from 7 destinations, namely Varanasi, Dadar, Delhi, Ahmedabad, Rewa and Chennai. For connecting these trains, the following work are completed. Dubois Chandoth gauge converted broad gauge rail line, Chandoth Kevadia new broad gauge line, Pratapnagar Kevadia newly electrified line. Along with these newly completed works, new station buildings at Dubois, Chandoth and Kevadia have been built.
The train is a superfast weekly express from Chennai to Kevadia. A report from a Chennai correspondent.
The train will cover 1,731 kilometers and will reach Kevadia in Gujarat at 2:52 on Monday evening. It will stop at Renigunta, Kadapa, Guntakal, Raichur, Solapur, Pune, Kalyan, Vasai Road, Surat and Vadodara. The superfast train starting from Kevadia at 9:15 every Wednesday morning will reach Chennai at 4 o'clock on Thursday evening. In the return direction, Kevadia superfast weekly trains will leave Chennai at 10:30 on Sunday night starting on 24th of this month and reach Kevadia at 3 o'clock on Tuesday morning. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Rewa in Madhya Pradesh is also ready for flagging off ceremony of direct train to Kevadia. The new train will connect people of the state with Kevadia in Gujarat. We have more from our Bhopal correspondent.
Rewa district of a state is among one of the location which will get direct connectivity to Kevadia with the flagging of ceremony of weekly direct train to Kevadia by Prime Minister Narendra Modi via video conferencing today. Member of Parliament from Rewa, Mr. Janardhan Mishra has said that PM Modi has taken care of Vindhya region and people of Rewa are enthusiastic and thankful to PM Modi. He said that the new train will give opportunity not only to visit Kevadia, but will also connect Rewa and Vindhya region to industrial areas of Gujarat. This connectivity will help in overall socio-economic development of the Rewa and Vindhya region while helping generate new employment and business opportunities. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will perform Bhumi Pujan of Ahmedabad Metro Rail Project Phase 2 and Surat Metro Rail Project at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow through video conferencing. The metro projects will provide an environment-friendly mass rapid transit system to these cities. Ahmedabad Metro Rail Project Phase 2 is 28.25 km long with 2 corridors. The total completion cost of this project is 5,384 crore rupees. Surat Metro Rail Project is 40.35 kilometers long and comprises 2 corridors. The total completion cost of the project is over 12,000 crore rupees.
India successfully rolled out the world's largest COVID-19 vaccination drive yesterday. It was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi through video conferencing. More than 1.91 lakh people across the country were inoculated on the first day. Health Ministry said not a single case of post-vaccination hospitalization has been reported so far. SII-produced Covishield was supplied to all states and UTs, while Bharat Biotech's co-vaccine was sent to 12 states. Government said vaccination drive is probably the beginning of the end of coronavirus pandemic in the country. Speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister said India's COVID-19 vaccination campaign is based on very humane principles and those exposed to maximum risk get priority.
ऐसी ही उपलब्धियों के लिए राष्ट्र कवि रामधारी सिंह दिनकर जी ने कहा था, मानव जब जोर लगाता है पत्थर पानी बन जाता है। भारत का टीकाकरण अभियान बहुत ही मानवीय और महत्वपूर्ण सिद्धांतों पर आधारित है। जिसे सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है उसे सबसे पहले कोरोना का टीका लगेगा। जिसे कोरोना संक्रमण का रिस्क सबसे ज्यादा है उससे पहले टीका लगेगा। जो हमारे डॉक्टर्स हैं, नर्सेज हैं, अस्पताल में सफाई कर्मी हैं, मेडिकल पैरामेडिकल स्टाफ हैं, वो कोरोना की वैक्सीन के सबसे पहले हकदार हैं। चाहे वो सरकारी अस्पताल में हो या फिर प्राइवेट में, सभी को ये वैक्सीन प्राथमिकता पर लगेगी।
Mr. Modi stressed that this type of large-scale vaccination campaign has never been run in history.
दूसरे चरण में हमें इसको 30 करोड़ की संख्या तक ले जाना है। जो बुजुर्ग हैं, जो गंभीर बीमारी से ग्रस्त हैं, उन्हें वो अगले चरण वाले चरण में टीका लगेगा। आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं, 30 करोड़ की आबादी से ऊपर के दुनिया के सिर्फ 3 ही देश हैं, खुद भारत, चीन और अमेरिका। और कोई भी देश ऐसा नहीं है जिनकी आबादी इनसे ज्यादा हो। इसलिए भारत का टीकाकरण अभियान इतना बड़ा है और इसलिए ये अभियान भारत के सामर्थ्य को दिखाता है। और मैं देशवासियों को एक और बात कहना चाहता हूं। हमारे वैज्ञानिक, हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स जब दोनों मेड इन इंडिया वैक्सीन की सुरक्षा और प्रभाव को लेकर आश्वस्त हुए, तभी उन्होंने इसके इमरजेंसी उपयोग की अनुमति दी है। इसलिए देशवासियों को किसी भी तरह के प्रोपेगेंडा, अफवाहें, दुष्प्रचार से बचकर रहना है।
Mr. Modi praised those scientists who had been involved in making the vaccine against corona for the past several months. He exuded pride how 2 made-in-India vaccines were readied in such a short period. Mr. Modi said Indian vaccines are much cheaper than foreign vaccines, but are equally good. He said there are some vaccines abroad whose single dose cost up to 5,000 rupees and have to be kept in freeze at -70-degree temperature. Mr. Modi highlighted the need to have 2 doses of corona vaccine.
कोविन डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म में टीकाकरण के लिए रजिस्ट्रेशन से लेकर ट्रैकिंग तक की व्यवस्था है। आपको पहला टीका लगने के बाद दूसरी डोज कब लगेगी, इसकी जानकारी भी आपके फोन पर दी जाएगी। और मैं सभी देशवासियों को ये बात फिर याद दिलाना चाहता हूं कि कोरोना वैक्सीन की 2 डोज लगनी बहुत जरूरी है।
Health Minister Harshvardhan interacted with the health ministers of states and union territories to review the first day of the world's largest vaccination program. He urged all state health ministers to keep a check on rumors and disinformation regarding the vaccines and make efforts to disseminate the right information. Dr. Harshvardhan said the vaccination drive, for which preparations were being done for the last 5 months under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has finally started.
In Bihar, 18,122 health workers were vaccinated on the first day of vaccination drive yesterday. No side effect has been reported from any parts of the state. Vaccination was undertaken at 301 health centers in 38 districts of the state. In Uttar Pradesh, vaccination drive was carried out successfully yesterday. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh inspected vaccination work at Balrampur Hospital in Lucknow and expressed satisfaction on the arrangements. Chief Minister said media should work to prevent rumour mongering regarding the vaccine. He also called upon people not to lower their guards against corona and continue to take all precautionary measures. We have more from our Lucknow correspondent.
The vaccination work was conducted at 317 Kovit centers in the state and no unpleasant incident was reported from anywhere. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath expected that at least 150,000 tests should be done every day in the state and testing work of COVID-19 be continued with full capacity. Chief Minister also gave instruction to keep the contact tracing and surveillance system fully active to break the chain of corona. He asked to keep the arrangements of COVID hospitals well arranged and said that the integrated command and control center should be kept fully functional in districts. Chief Minister said that in spite of vaccination work, the people should constantly be made aware about the prevention from COVID-19 and they should be asked to follow social distancing and wear masks. MS Yadav, Yaya News, Lucknow.
Public Health Department of Maharashtra has made it clear that the vaccination drive has not been suspended anywhere in the state and the drive will continue according to guidelines in the next week for 4 days. The clarification is given in the backdrop of the reports in some section of media that the drive is suspended in the state till January 18th. The department has said that the vaccination drive was not planned on January 17th and 18th, so question of cancellation does not arise. In Telangana, total 3,962 frontline health and sanitation workers have received the first dose of vaccine against coronavirus yesterday at 140 vaccination centers across the state. So far, there is no post-vaccine hospitalization reported in the state. State Health Minister E. Rajender urged the centre to simplify the procedures related to the CoWIN portal following technical snags reported at many places. He also urged for issuing more vaccines as the state is expanding the vaccination drive to cover more sections of people.
In Odisha, more than 85% of the targeted beneficiaries received the COVID-19 vaccine shots till 8 p.m. on the inaugural day of the nationwide vaccination program yesterday. The state had targeted to vaccinate about 16,000 healthcare workers in 161 session sites across 30 districts on day 1. More from our Odisha correspondent.
Capital Bhubaneswar, which targets to immunize about 9,000 healthcare workers in the first round of vaccination, saw one sanitation worker being delivered the Covaxin shot as the first recipient in Capital Hospital yesterday. The state has identified about 1.92 lakh healthcare workers to be vaccinated against the virus in about a week's time in the first phase. A couple of hours from the countrywide rollout of the vaccination program, Chief Minister Navin Patnaik virtually interacted with some vaccinated healthcare workers to take their feedback and was happy to note their positive reactions on being vaccinated. Girish Chandra Das, EIR News, Bhubaneswar.
In Gujarat, 11,800 corona warriors were vaccinated across 33 districts and 8 municipal areas on the first day yesterday. 80 to 100% coverage has been achieved across all the centers. Adverse side impact of vaccines has not been witnessed in even a single case. Gujarat government has planned to vaccinate around 440,000 health workers and frontline corona warriors in the first phase.
In Karnataka, 13,408 people have been successfully vaccinated yesterday in 243 centers in the state. This is 62% of the designated 21,658 people targeted to be vaccinated yesterday. On the first day, the first jab was administered to Nagar Ratna, a frontline staff at Victoria Hospital in Bangalore. More from a Bangalore correspondent.
Karnataka Health Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar has said that there is no side effect or serious threats reported from anywhere in the state. Speaking to media, he further said that vaccination will resume in government hospitals from tomorrow. Private hospitals will continue the vaccination today also. Kodagu district has recorded the highest number of vaccination with 84% and Dakshina Kannada records the lowest with 34%. Bengaluru city reported 53% of vaccination on day 1. Karnataka received 8 lakh doses of vaccine and 7.43 lakh people have been identified for the first phase of vaccination. State government has requested the central government to provide additional 8 lakh of doses of vaccine. Meanwhile, the state reported 584 new COVID-19 positive cases, 676 recoveries and 4 deaths during the last 24 hours. R. Murthy, AAR News, Bengaluru.
The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.56%. A total of 16,977 COVID patients recovered in the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries has gone up to over 1,179,715. The Health Ministry said the actual caseload currently comprises only 2% of the total positive cases.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to flag off 8 trains connecting different regions of the country to Statue of Unity in Kevadia at 11 a.m. today. World's largest COVID-19 vaccination drive kicks off in the country. Over 1.91 lakh people inoculated on day 1. Prime Minister says startups are playing crucial role in making India self-reliant. Veteran actor and director Biswadeeth Chatterjee chosen for Indian Personality of the Year award at IFFI, Goa. And in cricket, India were 186 for 6 against Australia in their first innings of 4th and final test at Brisbane a short while ago. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that startups are playing a crucial role in making India self-reliant.
भारत ने महामारी के मुश्किल समय में ही आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान भी शुरू किया. इसमें भी हमारी स्टार्टअप आज बड़ी भूमिका निभा रहे हैं. महामारी के दौरान जब दुनिया की बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां अपने सर्वाइवल के लिए संघर्ष कर रही थी, भारत में स्टार्टअप्स की एक नई फौज तैयार हो रही. देश में सैनिटाइजर से लेकर पीपीई किट्स की जरूरत थी, सप्लाई चेन्स की जरूरत थी, उसमें हमारे स्टार्टअप ने बड़ी भूमिका निभाई. लोकल जरूरतों के लिए लोकल स्टार्टअप खड़े हुए हैं.
Prime Minister was addressing Prarambh Startup India International Summit via video conferencing yesterday. He appreciated the startup spirit of finding opportunity in adversity and the way they infuse confidence during calamity. Prime Minister pointed out that 45% startups are in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities working as the brand ambassadors of the local products.
आज भारत के 80% जिले स्टार्टअप मूवमेंट से जुड़ चुके हैं. हमारे 45% स्टार्टअप आज टीयर 2 और टीयर 3 शहरों में आते हैं, जो कि लोकल प्रोडक्ट्स के ब्रांड एम्बेसडर की तरह काम कर रहे हैं. आज लोगों में स्वास्थ्य और खान-पान को लेकर जो जागरूकता बढ़ी है, उसमें भी स्टार्टअप के लिए नए अवसर बन रहे हैं. एक तरह से आज अगर कोई एवर ग्रीन सेक्टर है तो वो फूड एंड एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर ही है. भारत में इन सेक्टर्स की ग्रोथ पर विशेष जोर दिया जा रहा है. एग्रीकल्चर से जुड़े इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को आधुनिक बनाने के लिए देश ने 1 लाख करोड़ का एग्री इंफ्रा फंड भी बनाया है.
Mr. Modi announced Startup India Seed Fund scheme of about 1,000 crore rupees for startups to spur entrepreneurship across the nation.
स्टार्टअप्स को शुरुआती पूंजी उपलब्ध कराने के लिए देश 1,000 करोड़ रुपए का स्टार्टअप इंडिया सीड फंड लॉन्च कर रहा है. इससे नए स्टार्टअप शुरू करने और ग्रो करने में मदद मिलेगी. स्टार्टअप्स को गारंटीज के जरिए डेट कैपिटल रेज करने में भी मदद करेगी. भारत एक ऐसा स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम बनाने का प्रयास कर रहा है जिसका आधार स्तंभ ऑफ द यूथ, बाय द यूथ, फॉर द यूथ का मंत्र हो. अब हमें अगले 5 सालों का लक्ष्य तय करना है और ये लक्ष्य होना चाहिए कि हमारे स्टार्टअप, हमारी यूनिकॉर्न्स अब ग्लोबल जायंट के तौर पर उभरें, फ्यूचरिस्टिक टेक्नोलॉजीज में हमारे स्टार्टअप लीड करें.
Mr. Modi said more than 41,000 startups engaged in some campaign in the country. Of this, more than 5,700 are in the IT sector and over 3,600 are in the health sector.
आज 41,000 से ज्यादा स्टार्टअप हमारे देश में किसी न किसी अभियान में लगे हुए हैं. इनमें से 5,700 ज्यादा स्टार्टअप आईटी सेक्टर में हैं. 3,600 से ज्यादा, 3600 से ज्यादा स्टार्टअप हेल्थ सेक्टर में बने हैं. तो करीब 1,700 स्टार्टअप्स, 1,700 स्टार्टअप्स एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में आए हैं. साथियों, ये स्टार्टअप्स आज बिजनेस की डेमोग्राफिक कैरेक्टर भी बदल रहे हैं.
Government has said that around 563 lakh tons of paddy have been procured during the ongoing Kharif marketing season. This is an increase of 26.28% against last year, corresponding purchase of around 445 lakh tons. Agriculture Ministry said government continues to procure Kharif crops at its minimum support price from farmers as per its existing MSP schemes. The ministry said more than 78 lakh paddy farmers have been benefited from the current Kharif marketing season procurement operations with MSP value of over 1,06,000 crore rupees. The paddy procurement is continuing smoothly in the procuring states and union territories of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Chandigarh, Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Jharkhand, Assam, Karnataka and West Bengal.
The cases of avian influenza have been confirmed in poultry in Latur, Parbhani, Nanded, Pune, Solapur, Yavatmal, Ahmednagar, Beed and Raigad districts of Maharashtra. Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying said avian influenza has also been confirmed in Chatterjee district of Madhya Pradesh, Surat, Navsari and Narmada districts of Gujarat, Dehradun district of Uttarakhand and Kanpur district of Uttar Pradesh. Additionally, in Delhi, a pigeon, a brown fish owl in Najafgarh and a heron in Rohini have tested positive for avian influenza. The ministry said the central teams formed for monitoring the situation in the affected areas of the country are visiting the affected sites and conducting epidemiological studies. The 51st International Film Festival of India, IFFI, has announced Indian Personality of the Year award for veteran actor and director biswadeeth Chatterjee. The award was announced at the opening ceremony of the festival by Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar in Goa yesterday.
इस साल का इंडियन पर्सनालिटी ऑफ द ईयर पुरस्कार बहुत प्रसिद्ध एक्टर, प्रोड्यूसर, डायरेक्टर, सिंगर इन हिंदी एंड बंगाली सिनेमा श्री विश्वजीत चैटर्जी को दिया जाता है. लाइफ टाइम अचीवमेंट अवार्ड इस साल वित्तिरियो स्टोरारो को दिया गया है. इनको सिनेमाटोग्राफी के 3 ऑस्कर्स मिले हैं.
The award will be conferred on him when National Film Awards are presented in March this year. Apart from acting and direction, Biswadeeth Chatterjee has also been a producer and singer of Bengali and Hindi cinema. Biswadeeth Chatterjee is known for his roles of Kumar Vijay Singh in 20 Saal Baad, Raja Amit Kumar Singh in Khora, Ashok in April Fool, Ramesh Kumar in Mere Sanam, Jeevan in Night in London, Shekhar in Do Kalyan and Vicky in Kismat. He was usually paired with notable actresses such as Asha Parekh, Rahida Rahman, Mumtaz, Mala Sinha and Rajshri. Some of his Bengali films include Chaurangi, Shriman Prithviraj, Jai Baba Taraknath and Amar Geeti.
51st International Film Festival of India, IFFI, got off with enthralling cultural performances in Goa yesterday. Around 200 screenings will take place in physical format. The IFFI opened with the screening of the Danish filmmaker Thomas Vinterberg's Another Round at the Kala Academy. Festival will conclude on the 24th of January. More from a Goa correspondent.
Due to pandemic, there are restrictions on the event, and the IFFI this time is held on the hybrid mode, that is physical and virtual. Master classes and in-conversation sessions will also be held virtually. Renowned film personalities like Shekhar Kapoor, Priyadarshan, Pablo Cesar, Prasanna Vithange will be sharing their valuable experiences for these sessions. A retrospective section will showcase legendary filmmakers Satyajit Ray's popular classic like Patar Panchali, Satranj Ke Khiladi and others. Health protocol and sanitizing at the theatre premises is strictly followed. With the Mukesh Thali, Tushar Jadhav for AIR News from Panji, Goa.
Authorities yesterday said that flights between Moscow and New Delhi to restart from January 27. The authorities said that flights between Moscow and the capitals of Finland, Vietnam and Qatar would also restart from the same day. The flights have been suspended since the early weeks of the pandemic, and the authorities have said that the services would resume after certain epidemiological criteria were met. A statement from Kremlin said that the four countries were seeing fewer than 40 new cases per fortnight per 100,000 people. Over to cricket. India were 201 for 6 against Australia in their first innings on the third day of the fourth and final test at Brisbane a short while ago. India started the day at 62 for 2, having lost their openers Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill yesterday before the day's play ended. Earlier, Australia were bowled out for 369 in their first innings before lunch on day 2. The hosts lost their last 5 wickets for just 58 runs. Pace bowlers T. Natarajan and Shardul Thakur and off-spinner Washington Sundar took 3 wickets each.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital witnessed very dense fog this morning. The minimum temperature was 7 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 18 degrees. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature is around 16 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 29 degrees. Chennai will have partly cloudy sky today. The temperature will vary between 21 and 29 degrees Celsius. Kolkata witnessed fog in the morning and will have clear sky later. The minimum temperature is 15 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 25 degrees. Srinagar experienced mist in the morning and is likely to have partly cloudy sky later. The temperature will hover between -8 and 7 degrees Celsius. Jammu had fog in the morning. The city will have mainly clear sky later. The minimum temperature is around 6 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 19 degrees. Leh will have partly clear sky. The minimum temperature is around -13 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 1 degree. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between -5 and 11 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky, which may become partly cloudy towards evening or night. The temperature will hover between 5 and 20 degrees Celsius. Dehradun observed a minimum temperature of around 8 degrees Celsius and will have a maximum of around 22 degrees. The city will have a clear sky. Chandigarh had fog in the morning. The city will have mainly clear sky later. The temperature is likely to hover between 5 and 17 degrees Celsius. In Hyderabad, the minimum temperature is around 17 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 30 degrees. The city witnessed fog in the morning. It will have partly cloudy sky later. Ahmedabad will have clear sky. The minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 30 degrees. In Patna, it was a foggy morning. The city will have mainly clear sky later. The temperature will move between 10 and 18 degrees Celsius. And Guwahati had fog in the morning. The minimum temperature was around 12 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 23 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. The process to immunize India against Covid begins as first doses of Covishield and Covaxin administered is the story that dominates headlines in almost all the dailies. India begins world's biggest fight against Covid, leads the Asian age. 2 lakh get first dose of anti-Covid protection, informs the Pioneer. Prime Minister hails scientists for hope in despair, says must stay vigilant, reports the Sunday Express. Prime Minister announces 1,000 crore rupees Startup India Seed Fund, reports the Sunday Statesman. Angela Merkel's party picks her ally, Laschet, as the next leader, states Hindustan Times. Owl found dead in Delhi Zoo. Test at Bhopal lab confirms bird flu, reports the Pioneer. And finally, WhatsApp puts off privacy policy but concerns remain, reports the Hindu Business Line. No policy changes till May. WhatsApp says will clear the doubts, informs the Sunday Express.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to flag off 8 trains connecting different regions of the country to Statue of Unity in Cambodia at 11 a.m. today. World largest COVID-19 vaccination drive kicks off in the country. Over 1.91 lakh people inoculated on day 1. Prime Minister says startups are playing crucial role in making India self-reliant. Veteran actor and director Biswadeeth Chatterjee chosen for Indian Personality of the Year award at IFFI, Goa. And in cricket, India were 201 for 6 against Australia in the first innings of the fourth and final test at Brisbane a short while ago. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.